Yeah, am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last we completed our batch CRUD operation, means not just not complete, but create and the get part, right? Let me run the project. Go to 00. I hope all are done with at least login and the batch. What was the password, admin? Batch page. Okay. Okay. So many of you have created record. 44 records are there. Great. Okay, because of some names, if some names are very long, so see, Shubham record is very long, so UI is distracting, right? UI is getting disturbed if name is very long. So, you know that pipe we created where we showed dot 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 ellipses pipe. You remember we created custom pipe or custom directive also where we show dot dot dot, that we can use it over here because it should not disturb our UI, na? See, currently I have reduced the size. That's why it is looking proper. Otherwise, see, this edit button is getting active and this is getting disturbed. Okay. So if the batch name, if the characters are so many, so we should limit our character to something like that. If your design is something else, then it's okay. But in my design, it's breaking. Okay. Now, so batch creation is done. So what were the models we had? Batch, candidate, then what were the models we had? Batch, then candidate,
Enrollment.
enrollment, then
Batch session.
session recordings, right? These are the models we have. So batch is completed. Next is a candidate. Okay. Mute guys. Rohit. MS. Okay. Now we need the UI for the candidate. You remember what the same is the same chat what we used from earlier. That same chat we have to give. So when if you are using Bolt AI, whatever the chat you have now, so you bookmark that. I have also bookmarked the same. Every time I have to create the UI, I will use the same chat. So it will follow the same look and feel, color combination. Okay. Now I will add my second thing. Okay, this is the okay. So second prompt, just like batch CRUD design create for candidate object also.
Chetan, I have one doubt here.
Yeah.
So for the Bolt API, right? Bolt
Hmm.
AI. So
Hmm.
the tokens are there is
Yeah,
limit on
limited,
tokens, right?
limited. So every day, one prompt only.
Only
Okay.
one prompt, right?
One every day, one prompt. Okay. Just like I'm also doing. That day we used one. Now I'm using for the second one like this. Or use it on the multiple browser or with different login. Then it will work.
It will work, right? Okay.
Yeah, different browser. Okay. But try to keep the same because with different browser again that will provide you some different UI. Color and everything will be different, right? So you have to use the same thing. So use this so that it will provide you the look and feel with the same UI. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Follow same UI colors and provide static HTML page only, not React JS. Okay. Now it will take some time. Till that we will complete our basic thing. Let's close it. So candidate, I think we didn't create the component. Let's create it quickly. ng generate component candidates. Okay, Milind and Shubham, I will provide you the access of the report today as a collaborator. You can just complete the edit and the delete functionality in our batch. Okay. Batch, then candidate. Why it's not coming? Candidates. Okay. Now tell me, do we create a separate service for candidate? Right, for storing the API call function related to candidate. Do we create a separate component, separate service?
We should, right?
Right, we should, because the first service name we have given batch. So obviously now we have to create one more service. Okay. If we
Yes.
didn't specify something master or something, so all the API call we could have put it into a single service also. Okay. But now
Yes.
since we have created like that, so candidate, a folder I'm creating. Now inside the folder, I will create my service. Ng generate service candidate. See now, our component name is also candidates. And if I use the same name now, candidates only, so we will have two classes, one service and one component. So that's why we add service name over here in the service name only, because of the naming rules got changed. Fine. Now, again, models also we need to create, right? Where is the model? So I will use this JSON, then JSON to TS. I will put it over here. Copy. Now here you can see in classes also we created batch model.ts. So just like that, candidate dot model.ts, and here I will put all my class interface regarding candidate. Okay. So this is going to be class model. Okay. Now we need constructor.
Chetan, naming convention is always first letter to character.
Camel case only, yeah. From variable, function name, parameter name, everywhere we should follow the same.
Camel case means, but C is should be in
We
small.
start with small, and if
Ah.
it's a combination of two words, second letter should be capital, like this.
No, I'm not telling about that file name. That
Okay,
candidate.
model, file name you are saying?
Hmm.
See, sometimes it based on the project. Sometimes file name we can start with capital also. In some project they try to follow the camel case also. Okay, but property name, function name, variable name, we should follow the camel case only.
Okay.
Now this string we have to replace with empty. Okay, so whatever the object we have created a class of it. Now in our component, candidates, HTML, let's see if the UI is ready. Candidate, yeah. Okay, I'm copying the whole thing. Then I will paste it over here. We don't need this. Style also, we don't need it. Let's see if it follows the same UI or not. We created the route, right? Okay, now in our, where we have the navbar? Where is our navbar? Layout component. Okay, in app component we don't have anything. Layout component we have the navbar. So here our route name, candidate, over here, save. So see, it's same look and feel it has followed over here also, because we use the same chat box, same chat we use. If you use the different login, then again it will provide you the different set of UI. All our page should have same look and feel combination whenever we work on the project, right? Same look and feel combination should we have, na? That's why I said like use the same prompt, use the same chat. Okay. Again, that extra thing it has added, we don't need that. This thing, container fluid. Fine. Now, so API calls. Now again, we will see the API call. So we created our constant to put our API calls and everything, right? So we will do the same thing for this. So global constant, API method name, candidates, colon. Our controller name is candidates only. Copy. This is our controller name. Okay. In constant, we added that. Now in our service, we need respective functions also. So I'm copy pasting. Okay. So same way I'm copying this. I will move it over here. It will be same, right? We don't need this. I think, why did we create role? Why we created this subject?
For interview session, we have
Okay,
created.
for intro session, we use this. Oh, that's what I said. We didn't need anything over here. HTTP client, API response model. Now, instead of batch model, it will be our candidate model. Okay. Observable environment, API constant, inject also. Okay. So here is instead of bash, now you have to use the candidates. Okay. See, it is because it's a very straightforward basic CRUD application is there. We don't have any foreign key. Do we have any foreign key over here in this candidate? Do we have foreign key?
No.
No.
Okay. So it's a straightforward CRUD operation. Okay. So in HTML, we will use reactive form because in candidate in batch master, we have gone with, we have gone over here with template form, right? So here we will use reactive form. You also do the same because we are not just completing the project. While completing the project, we have to master our concepts also. Okay. Now, so how many ways are there? How you create the reactive form?
There are two ways.
Right? There are three ways. We can create dynamic also, but till now we have just seen two ways. One is with using form group. Another way is by using form builder service. Okay. Now, so candidate form colon form group is equal to new form group. I will just initialize it. Okay. I'm just declaring it. I have initialized it, but with empty values. Okay. Reactive form model we have to import. Now I will create a function that will be initialize form. And in this function, we will initialize our form. So this dot form. So here we will actually initialize our form. Candidate form is equal to new form group, round bracket, curly bracket. Now, what are the things we have that we need? So we will go to the class. I will copy this. I will paste it over here. Okay. Now this I have to replace with new form control. Round bracket, candidate ID. What do we initialize candidate ID? Empty?
0.
Zero.
Zero. Why 0?
It comes from API.
But why candidate ID? It doesn't come from API. Yeah, it means it get created from the API. But why?
Initial value.
It's a primary key, right? And when we create the database, we said, if you remember, we created DB auto-generated identity. So you don't have to send it. Database will take care of it. Okay. So that's why we send it as a 0. False. Okay. So we created the reactive form, but this function is there, right? We have to call this function on the page load. So in constructor, we call it. Do we call this function in the constructor or ng on it? Where I should call this function?
ng on it.
Are you sure ng on it? What's the use of constructor?
To initialize the
In,
variable.
This is
in-
initialization, na?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we have to call it over here. Okay.
Yes.
Understood? Now, what do we do with ng on it then? What do we do in ng on init then?
Anything depending on the page DOM.
DOM related means once your UI is ready or anything we have to do with the DOM. Normally, don't answer like that also. Just say ki API related triggering, which is not initialization. It is third party API call, right? Asynchronous call is there. So that we should put it into your ng on init. What do we do in ng after view init? ng after view init, what do we do?
When we use the view child, right?
Right? Why do we do that on the ng on init?
Sorry.
Why do we write that? Whenever we write the code with view child, we write it in ng after init. Why?
Because when a view is rendered,
DOM is completely initialized.
Like
Right?
when
DOM
view
completely
is
initialized.
initialized,
Okay.
yeah.
In reusable component, we have input, right? Let's say you have a reusable component and you are trying to access the value of input. Where you will access? In ng on init, will it be accessible or in constructor? Can we access that input value in constructor?
No.
No. No.
Okay. In ng on it only you will get the value, not in the constructor, because at that time constructor execute whenever class object is created. It doesn't know it's means your component is not fully initialized that. Okay. Candidate service I'm injecting now. So this function I'm creating here, I have to call my API. So this dot candidate service dot, we didn't change the function's name. So whenever you copy paste, be alert like what changes you have to do. Create new candidate, get all candidate. Okay. Now in our component, get all candidate dot subscribe round bracket. Next.
Class.
Yes. Go ahead.
పూర్తి చేయడానికి కదా ఇంటర్ వచ్చింది.
Sorry. Be on mute, guys. You're not talking. Okay. Now, whatever the response we get, where do we store that? Do we create a normal variable or the signal?
Signal.
Signal.
Signal only. Okay. Candidate list. Data type, again, same type of data we are getting. We created our object, right? So candidate model. Let's import that. So this dot candidate list is equal to res dot data. Okay. And this function we will trigger on ng on it. Fine. Now we created reactive form. This function we called it over here so that my form will be initialized, and we did the API call integration also. Now the UI part. Right. Now here candidate ID we don't need to show, so we will remove it. First time on the form tag, what we need to do?
Form group.
Right? Square bracket form group name is equal to whatever the name you have, that is candidate form. Then, so on every element you have to use your form controller name. So form controller name equal to. Now what I will do, I will search like this, and wherever I have it, only one time. Email, okay, different things are there. Let's manually do the copy paste. Rule. This is checkbox. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's bind all the values is active. Role. Now, in our application, admin means I'm going to use, but sometimes I won't be able to access the laptop, so I need to give access to someone else also. So super admin will be the first role. Okay, and second role will be candidate. Only two roles we are going to have, super admin and candidate. Okay, then password, mobile number, email, full name. Okay, so we created a reactive form. That form we binded it over here. Now on click of save. Now you know that input type button is there. What is the difference between input type button and input type submit? This is a HTML question. I'm not asking about Angular. Normal HTML question. Difference between HTML input type button and input type submit.
Like-
Submit has a event associated
It's
to
like-
it,
Which event?
like ng submit.
No. Forget about Angular. That's what I said, na. Normal HTML question. What is difference between type button and type submit?
Like button is just a button. Like if we use submit, then it will send the response also to the backend.
How it will send it?
They find that form tag action.
Submit
Right?
means the
See.
related form going to
Right.
the form data
So
going
if
to.
your button, which is having type submit, if this button is inside the form tag, it will try to post back the form. It will type to submit. Okay. From normal HTML, don't think of from Angular. It will try to post back, go to the W3 school. You will understand what I'm saying. Previous application used to like this now. See over here, okay? Pay attention over here. If I click on this, see what is happening? Request is going to the server and new page is coming. This is your post call happening, post back. This is not a form. I'm just explaining you. If your button type is submit and your button is inside the form tag, it will try to submit it. Okay. See, this intro question they might ask because this, that EPAM interview I have faced. EPAM focused on very basic thing. So many product-based companies are there which focused on very basic thing only. They don't care about Angular or React. They will just stick to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So there they ask the question like, because I come from a .NET background, so I know what type submit does and what type button does. Okay.
And if the button is outside form tag, then
It will be, it won't do anything. If your type submit is there and it's inside the form, then only it will try to submit. Okay. If it is
If
outside the form
multiple-
tag, yes, it will behave like a button only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
I
now,
have a
that- hypothetical question.
yeah, but
Suppose two submit button inside the form.
then both will do the same thing. Okay. It's not like one will submit, both will do the same thing. Okay. See, that's why while Bolt also submit button, it has gone with submit, and reset button, it has gone with button. Got it?
Previously, it is using the Ajax, na. So
Yeah. Ajax. That
Yes,
we used to there.
save as, something is. So all the buttons should be submit, type submit.
Right. So that's what I said. Those who have experience working on a web technologies, previous one, those only knows the difference. What type submit does. Okay. Now, so in reactive form, if your button type is submit, instead of writing the click event, instead of writing like this, you get one more event on the form tag. What is that event type?
ng submit.
ng submit. Okay. On save candidate. Okay. Now you can create this function like this. Okay. Either this question they will ask what events we have on the form for reactive form ng submit. So if your button type is submit, here you are not writing click event, but once you click on this submit button, it will trigger this function. Understood?
One interview, they had asked me why do you write ng submit and why don't you prefer on click event for submitting the form? So what should we answer here?
What I will answer. It's not specific reason. That's why I said like in one form we normally have a submit button only, right? One more. So with submit but ng submit, I think we get some type. Here it is not showing. We can extract the form value also. It is not showing. Check, do the chat GPT or go to Angular side. This
Hmm.
ng submit, you know that ng model change, what does it get? Ng model change event. What do we get that? You know that event we pass,
Hmm.
right? How does it behave? Just like that, in ng submit event, I think we can get the form value also. Then you don't need to extract the value over here. Directly event you pass is over here, directly form value you get it. Let's try it now.
Okay.
Okay, let's try dollar event. Okay, event colon any. Let's try it. See, submit event we got event, but it's an event. Event dot. What do we get now? We have to check it. Event dot current target. Event dot current target dot event dot current target dot value. It's not going. Event dot current target dot context. What is it? Context as we get the, no, we didn't get that. Okay, reactive form object it is getting. Let's see what else we. Okay, let it me. I will check it later. Okay, or you can also do the same thing. Something is there. I also don't remember now. There is something. That's why they asked that question. Okay, check the Angular side. What we can access over here in NGA submit.
Yeah, I just checked. So they are saying that it is aware of the form, and but click event is not
It's not
aware of
aware
the
of,
form.
because that's an your normal click
Yeah.
button. It has nothing to do with the form, but
Hmm.
this event is related to your form.
And also, they are saying like if the form will be valid, then only this ng submit will be triggered. If form is not valid,
It won't
then it
trigger.
will not. Ng submit, if that form is not valid,
I'm
then
not sure
ng
this.
submit method is not will not trigger.
Try
That's
it.
what.
Yeah, try it one more time. If it
Yeah.
is, yeah, that's a good reason then. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
so on this click button, we have to call our API call function. This dot candidate service create new service. Now here you need the form. So constant form value. Okay. So this dot your candidate form dot value. This will get you the object. Okay. And this object you will pass it over here as a parameter. Dot subscribe round bracket curly bracket next. I API response. Okay. Now it's a API call. Check the response. Okay. I'm passing this. This is what you get. See, if I'm passing the same dummy data, I'm getting the error because for string, there might be an existing record. So in this API, email ID, mobile number, I think two things are unique or let me check quickly. Visual Studio. What things are unique? Only email ID is unique, I think. Let me check one more time. So you know that something should be unique. We should not have duplicate candidate record, na? So from API side, we are handling that. Whenever you try to submit something, it will check if this email ID already exists or not. Okay. Okay. Only email I'm checking. See, if I'm checking whatever the object you pass, now I'm checking whatever the email ID you pass, is it already exist or not? If it already exists, I'm passing this message. Email already exists. That's what you are getting over here. Okay. So we have to check this result property. Now here, if res dot result is true, means we can say ki API call was success. Candidate created success. And after success, we need to refresh the grid. So this dot get candidates function, we will call it over here. If the result property is false, means we got some error, and that error also we are getting from the API. So res dot message. Okay. And what else we need to do in if block? We shown the alert box. We call the get API. What else we need to do here? Think properly. If something extra we need to do
We
it
have
over.
to bind into the data to the grid.
Sorry, repeat one more time.
The resultant set, we have to bind it to the grid. The whatever created candidate.
Yeah, that we have done. No, I'm asking about this if statement. This is an API call, save API call. Once API call is success, we are showing the alert box and we are calling the get API also. And in else, we are showing the message, whatever we got. Do we need to do something else?
Reinitialize the form.
Reinitialize the form, right? So
Clear the
this
form.
function, we will again call it over here. Okay. Understood, no? Because once you submit the form, you should reinitialize.
Should clear the form, right? Yeah, for the next.
Sorry, someone is saying something.
No, we have to clear the form, right? Once
Clear the
Right.
form. That's what I-
Right. So that's why we call this function. Okay. Or we can use the method also. This dot your candidate
Reset.
form dot reset. This is also there. Okay. This will also do the same thing. Let's check it properly now. Okay. Let's say check. My name is already there. Rahul@gmail.com. Mobile number 99888888. Again, APIs are open. Make sure you should not use your own original number. Have a dummy one. Okay. Admin role candidate. Okay. Again, once we are completing everything now, this page, candidate page, is only accessible for the super admin only. Candidate won't have the access of this page. Okay. Let's check it properly. Create candidate. API call function is there. We got the form value. Now tell me, will my API work if I pass this object?
No.
Why?
Date is
Right? So
Now,
created date and updated date. They expect a date type of data. Na? So see 400. And in response, you get the error for this field. Okay. So here, new date. Here also. And here also. Okay. Now it should work. Candidate, create account. Let's add deliver line number 54. Continue. Continue. See, result is true. Means API call got successes. Candidate ID is generated. Okay. Continue. API call will happen. And how many records are there? Oh my God. So you already started now. So some records are there. 28 records are there. Okay. The last record will be mine one. See, no. Okay, top one it is coming here. But I didn't added the sort by. Okay, it is adding here. I think in this API I have added this order by descending by the created date. It is filtering order by with the created date. That's why the latest record created is coming at the top. Okay. Now instead of this static, we just need to show the dynamic UI. Now in the last component, we use control flow. Here I'm using ng-for. To use ng-for, you have to import it. ng-for. Then in your HTML,
You can use the common module also, right? Instead of.
but if you are just importing ng-for, why to import the whole thing? No, just import the specific what you are needing. Common module has everything, pipe, ng-for, ng-class, everything it has, right? So if you are using almost 4 to 5 things, then you can import the common module. If you are just using ng-for and ng-class, import that two only. Okay.
Only for signal small single things, right?
Right. Okay. Let candidate of candidate list. Fine. We need to access the serial number. So let SR is equal to index. SR plus plus. Here we have to. Why it is giving error? Sorry, S plus 1. Candidate dot full name, email, here we have role and active. So for active, we removed it, right? Okay, let me check if I have the UI. Active, inactive. For inactive, this is the class badge inactive. Okay, because class also need to be dynamic. So here I will use, instead of using ng class we have used or not previously in batch component.
Yes, we have
Yes.
used.
Yeah,
So here I will explain property binding. So instead of, because if you have to use ng class, you need to import, right? So here, in case of ng, condition, na? So if candidate dot is active is true, then this class, otherwise this class. What is the problem with this way and the ng class? It's there. What they can ask this question: if you have class, then same thing you can achieve with property binding also and ng class also. What you will say?
G class we can use the multiple condition.
Yes. Okay. So see, the first problem is like this batch status. This is getting repeated. Here also it is there. Here also it is there. Right? Again, you cannot add multiple classes with multiple condition. That is not possible over here. We can, but again, multiple ternary will be there. And multiple ternary we should not have. Okay. So here status. Right. Candidate dot is active. Let's save and check. Okay. We got the data. Let's change this to call 8 and this to call 4. Still it is breaking. Why? Think some email ID I having long. Okay, let it be. Okay, so get part and this is done. In case of edit, right? What I have to do in case of edit in reactive form? What I need to do in case of edit? On edit, I will pass the whole object over here, right? How you will, what you will do to reinitialize? You have to reinitialize your form now. But now this time with the value, correct? When whatever the record you click on edit, that record should get populated in your form, na? Understood?
Yes.
So tell me what you will do. Do I copy this same thing again and write it over here? And instead of this, form dot candidate ID like this, everywhere we will bind.
We can use a patch value or something.
Right? We can use patch value. Okay. So this dot, no, not patch value, set value, na?
For all, we have to use set
We
value.
have to
Yes, set value.
set value, no? We have to
Set
reinitialize the
value
whole, no?
for few properties, right?
Right? So
One,
form.
one.
Okay. Now save. If I click on edit, see, your form is getting populated. Understood?
Can you repeat again?
Huh?
What is? Can you explain again? I don't understand.
Morning you didn't join, Navid?
But morning not joined, but I
Okay.
cover it.
Okay. So morning we discussed key in reactive form we have two methods, set value and patch value. So set value, you have to pass all the field object, then only it will work. If you pass one or two, it won't work. Patch value is to if you want from your reactive, if you want to change only one or two things, then you go for the patch value. Okay.
Okay.
Just go through today's, you will understand whole thing.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Now here, instead of create, we have to show the update button in case of update, right? How you will show and hide the update and save button,
Candidate ID condition.
right? We need ID condition. So let's say this is your save, this is your update. How you will write the condition?
If ID not equal to 0,
Which ID? How you will read
candidate
that
ID.
ID, na?
Candidate ID.
How? Where you have the candidate ID? That's what I'm asking. What I should write it over here?
You
Array?
flag.
You have a form, na?
Yeah,
Form.
form ID. Yeah.
From the
Candidate
form
form dot.
Form dot controls. This is what I'm asking, na?
candidate.
Then your control name, candidate ID dot value. This is how you get the value, na? Correct? If equal to 0, we show the save button, create candidate button. Otherwise, at the rate else, we show the update button. Update. Okay. Warning to success I'm doing. Save. Reload. See, something is breaking. No, why data is not there? Refresh. What went wrong? It was working earlier. What did we do? Okay, now it came. Okay, so by default, this button is visible, create candidate. If I click on edit, see, update. Okay, understood? So this is how you do. Now, just a post API call will be there. Now, instead of just the submit, there it is. You can have a button, and for update, you can call a different function, update API. Okay, or you can use the same, but again, here you need to add the logic. Like if candidate ID is 0, then you will make this call. Otherwise, the update call in the same function. That also you can do. Clear now, candidate?
Sometime we get the ID from ng for loop. In this case, we are getting the value from form.
No, means
Means that sometime we get the candidate ID in different. It may be a template form. We get the candidate ID from ng4 items. Suppose we are iterating something and we get the current value
ID.
from that. But in this scenario, we are getting the candidate ID from form.
No. In which function you are saying?
Okay, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ जैसे कि जब हम
Here?
ng4 लूप अप्लाई करते हैं तब वहां से भी हम करंट ऑब्जेक्ट का आईडी लेकर के
API कॉल
पास
करते
कर
हैं.
सकते
एडिट
हैं. हाँ पास
एडिट के
कर
ऊपर
सकते
जो
हैं.
API कॉल करते हैं वो बोल रहे हो क्या?
हाँ वही बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ. So see, sometimes the post API and the get APIs are totally different. Let's say employee application you are working. In employee object, you have around 50 field. In employee object, you have around 50 field. Now,
Okay.
in GET API, will API person return all the data in GET API? All 50 field?
No.
They don't return.
No.
They return just the limited, whatever the information. Are you going to show 50 field in your table? No.
No.
Limited information. So in GET API also limited information will come. In that case, if you click on the edit, you don't have the data in your array, whole data. So that time you pass the ID and that ID you pass it with along the API. Here also we have that API. So currently in GET API also we are getting the same object what post required, but we have that another API also. See, where is the GET API? This is API to get all the data. Let's say if I pass this 38 ID. Sorry. Second ID, if I am passing over here the ID, I will get the record of the single object. See, sometimes we make, if our GET API doesn't have all the data what we need to reinitialize our form, we will have a different API where we will pass the primary key and there we get the whole object. So this also you can do. Here, what you do, you pass the whole object, right? So instead of passing the whole object, this API call you will do. Understood? You also try. Because API is there. So on click of edit, you have to integrate this API. Then in subscribe, you will write this line, whatever the data you get. And from UI, you will just pass the candidate.id, not the whole object. Understood? Everyone? So you also do the same thing because just to save the time, I have done like this. But here you pass the candidate ID and here you do the API call integration. And whatever the data you get, then that data, result.data, you set it over here. Okay?
Yeah.
Understood now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we completed batch and the candidate. What will be the next? Enrollment. Shall we complete today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. So
Tomorrow.
login,
Tomorrow.
authguard, batch, and the candidate. 4 things we have completed. Make sure you complete 4 things. Do it parallelly with me. Okay. Those who are
Yes.
not able to get the time because of your work, try to take the help of AI, but match my speed. Okay. Tomorrow we
Yes.
complete the enrollment. In enrollment, we have a foreign key. Okay. So there we will again see some new concept. Fine.
Yes.
Okay. Where is the batch enrollment? Here you see in post API, we have enrollment ID, batch ID, candidate ID. These are my foreign keys. And if you check the GET API, oh my God, we don't have a GET API where we don't pass the ID. We need one more API, which will get you all the batches. Why? What is the purpose of this API? Batch ID and ID. We discussed, right? APIs. We need one more API which will return all the batches. Currently, we have two GET API which need a batch ID. Okay, we need one more API where we don't pass anything. We will get all the batches. Okay, all the enrollment. So that API is needed. I will create it. Fine. Anyone having any question?
Yes, yes. I have
One more thing is there. Hello.
Yeah.
That column name is capital Access.
Yeah. Wait. The database. B31. Sorry, B31. What was the database name? TestDB, I think. No. What was the database name? Testing user B31. B32. This is my database name. B. B32 testing. In Enrollment table, no, Shekhar?
Yes, sir. Enrollment table.
Where it is? Which column?
That is for the first one. Get by batch ID and candidate.
No. Where you are getting the error?
Just a moment. Access end date.
Okay, this column we don't have, na. See, here we have this column, but do we have the property over here?
No.
Okay, so I need to just remove it. You just remove it, property from your model. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Fine. It is to be deleted directly, right?
Yeah, just remove from your model.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Anyone who was having?
Yes. Our previous component batch, we created classes as well as interfaces, but in this component, we created only class.
Yes. So because we are using reactive form, right?
Mhm.
So just for
But
the
we are
table, we
using
created class. Instead of class, we should have created the interface only. Okay. Understood?
but
We
we
could
are
have
using same
same.
interface in this component API response.
No, this is for common API. All our APIs are responding same data, result, message, and data. All API. So this is a common response for all the APIs. That's why this candidate is this. See why I
Okay.
said this. This is result. What you are getting over here, API response. But your API is returning this property, na? Where it is?
The three things in that message, result, and data. Something.
Right? These three properties are there. These are common, na? This is common API response. That's why we created this.
Yes.
Okay.
This is following all APIs.
Yeah, for all APIs. Here also, in your service return type also. Okay. Everywhere
Here
this
we
is
are
the common.
using ng4 in temp HTML thing form. ng4. We are using let keyword, but sometimes we use the track by.
Okay, track by now. Okay. Yeah, I know. We will see that later. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We cannot take that signal in that candidate list. Only normal variable we can take.
Wait. How did it work then? It's a normal variable, na? How it worked? Because of ng4 or what? How it worked? Batches. That's why it was not loading. We gone with normal variable only. Is equal to signal.
So I'm having one question. Can we use NG model with signal?
Can we use NG model with signal? I also didn't try it.
I tried it today, but it said that doesn't work, and it is to be separated in model, and that two different commands are there. No?
I also didn't check. I have to check. What was the error you were getting?
I don't remember the error, but later I searched for it. Then it said that to separate it.
Okay.
Two events.
Fine. We'll check.
Like click event and the binding property are separately written with dollar event, and now then it worked.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Chetan, I'm also facing that edit issue. The batch once an edit, first time it is not in all the object is not rendering in the form.
So
Once I'm clicking on second time, that first time getting data is there. Once third time, then second time.
Yeah, on click of edit, do you have the signal? Means API call you are using or directly object you are passing?
Directly object.
No, it should work then. If you are on click of edit, if you are making API call, then it won't work.
Okay, let me check
Check one more time. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Fine then. Anyone having any quick doubt? Fine.
While clicking off the email is mandatory, while entering for email, shall we give a response like the email already
Exists.
available?
If you
like,
pass the existing email ID.
okay, yeah.
But I think it is
Instead of
mandatory only.
submitting the form, then we can give for response.
Yeah, once you submit the form, then API response will let you know ki if the email ID you are passing will already exist or not. Or we can create one more API also. Means, let's say if it is very small form, so it's okay. But let's say consider like 50 fields are there. And after filling the whole form, you get to know ki this email already exists. So once you provide the email address and once you click on go to the next, once email ID address, then we can make an API call and we can check if this email ID already exists or not. If already exists, while filling after filling the email only, you should get the warning. That also we can implement, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why to wait for whole submit, no? I will create one more API for
instead
that
of
also.
full name, before we can put it for the email first and
Right, that also we can do. Okay, I will create that API also in candidate only. Where is candidate? Yeah. So let me quickly write that API also. So what will be the parameter you will be passing there then?
email ID.
Email ID only, right? String parameter,
Yeah.
okay? So get API I'm copying. So here, check if email exist. And this will have parameter
String and email ID.
email, right? And here we have to
And
check if whatever the
yeah,
email ID I'm
find
passing, it's
yeah,
already exist or
find
not. So
find by
candidate
async.
dot single or default. You know, in
Yeah.
JavaScript, we have find method. In JavaScript array, we have find method. What find method does, singular method, singular default does the same thing in .NET. Okay. And dot email equal to email. Consider this is your array, this is your find, and remaining code is same. Okay. Instead of singular default async, because we have added await over here. So here, why it is giving error? Okay, semicolon. So if here we have to add a if statement. If the email ID already exists, we will get the data, otherwise it will be null. If it is null, so it is already suggesting no. Else. Sorry. Okay, so see here I'm checking, this is a link you query. Here I'm checking whatever the email ID you pass from the API, I'm checking from the database. In my candidate table, do I have the email ID already exist or not? If I have, I will get the data, otherwise it will be null. If it is not null, or let's say if it is null, means the email ID doesn't exist. Email doesn't exist, and I will pass true over here, means we can go ahead. Okay, or we can do the vice versa. Email, because the method name is check email exists, so we will pass if it is not null, means email exist, and in else we will pass false, email does not exist. Okay, so this API you will call once your email ID change, means that change event you will cause, and this this API you will call. Okay, I will pass the method name also so that we will understand, because there are 3 get method now. Okay, what was that again? Enrollment, no? So enrollment. So just like this, we need API which will return all the enrollment without any filter. Get all enrollment. And here we don't need any parameter. Here we don't need so in JavaScript we have filter method. In LinkU we have where method. Okay, here you can pass the multiple. Fine. So 2 methods are done. What is the error? Access data will be removed from the model. I will deploy this later. Okay. Fine. So please complete batch, login, and the candidate. Okay. It's okay if you don't complete the auth guard, but complete the pages at least. Okay. Fine. All.
Sir, provide the morning and today this evening recording.
Morning, it is already there, na?
Okay, okay.
YouTube link, because the same data we have to match in our batch also, na, this project. That's why I'm uploading all the recording to the YouTube directly. That same data we should be able to see in our application now. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Fine then. Let's connect tomorrow morning. Bye.